going Grand Piero. Aurora Symphony's clear though with 100 left to go. He's won 2 Launceston Cup. Add the Hobart Cup to it. Aurora Symphony comes on to win the Cup easily, wins by 2.5.
Welcome to Bet Doctor, behind the curtain look at how pro punters operate. I'm your host Scoot. I'm in studio with John Walter off the back of Valentine's Day. How was it?
I just sent through apologies at about 10 a.m. Said, sorry, not this year, maybe next year. And she's, sweet with it. So got away again. 15 years of Valentine's Days. Holy cow, it goes quick.
Yeah, I've postponed to a lunch tomorrow, so I'm off the hook. DK, how are you, brother?
Good, yeah. Now, after, what have we been married for? 16, 17 years and been together 20-something years. Finally, she never said a word. Never said bye. Every year I say it's put on by the flower shops and the media and this crap, and do you want to go and crash into people, full restaurants paying $300 a head and all this for what on a Tuesday night? So I just went this year just hoping she never said anything. She never said nothing, so beautiful. I got it, birthday, and she's big on birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas. She wants something, so finally got her out of Valentine's Day. Magnificent.
My 5-year-old came home crying that he didn't get anything from anyone. Like they're working on him early, aren't they? Why isn't racing running down this path? Getting the 5-year-olds coming home saying, "Gee, that horse went huge on the weekend." I'd be proud then.
Nico, anything post Ballarat? Any holding hands? Valentine's Day action last night?
No,
dinner?
it was.
Did you go to Ballarat? Did you?
No, I didn't head out there actually. It was pretty quiet for me. So we sort of did it Tuesday night. So
love it. Yeah. Well, you're in the infancy. You're in the honeymoon.
Early.
You're in the honeymoon period, mate. You're going to go big. Valentine's Day and mate, watch it. What Mellum and J Carr? There was the announcement they're getting engaged. So one on Valentine's Day, and all the young lovey doveys all expressing their love on the Insta and all that. That was a heyday. But there was a result for the good guys there yesterday, Nico. Race 4. I mean, apart from the great story with Shay Keating, did you back it into you?
No.
You didn't?
No, I wasn't.
Jeez, I would have thought if anyone did the form on that race, and you didn't come out with it on top, and it's got the money, and they've, it survived the old data blokes knocking the prices off when they first go up, well, they seem to do on all these things. The price just hung there. So I would have thought into you off. I thought plenty of people would have backed it yesterday, including this little black duck. So good result.
Beautiful. Little mini trumpet to start proceedings.
Mini trumpet. Well, I thought, no, that's what I mean. You wouldn't have to get a tip. If you did, I'll tell you something. If you did the form on that race and you didn't have any on top and you're a form analyst or something, my suggestion is you probably should be doing something else.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the Best Bet boys found it as well. But
did Nico find it? I just want to know if he needs to be doing something else.
No, I didn't find it. So,
up you go, Nico. Something else, son.
Walk out the door for me.
I was too busy scratching around at Gawler. I didn't get time for that one. But little Valentine's Day present for all the racing fraternity. The Queen has spoken, Gay Waterhouse, and Uncle Chris has sort of stepped in as well. And the Rosehill sale has hit the skids. You've been saying this a while, Walt, about this. I don't know, like it's a
money pit,
or a bit of a black hole in budgets up in New South Wales. And this sale's probably the only tip of the iceberg. We've just seen an interesting article from The Straight, Brent O'Brien, former editor of racing.com, and he listed probably half a dozen investments that New South Wales have purchased that haven't acted on. So there's Scone, Cessnock, there's a couple of properties that were bought to rehome horses off the track for welfare things. They're sort of 6 and 7 years down the track, and nothing's happened there. And it looks like the New South Wales plan is to just, I guess, boost themselves out of this debt hole by selling off the big asset. And luckily, Gay Waterhouse, and it sounds like most of the members are up in arms and finally realising that there's a big black hole in these budgets. And Chris Waller joined the chorus, and they're pretty peeved off about the whole situation. It's finally coming to a head, but we've sort of been talking about this sort of iceberg that's been approaching for a long time, and obviously we feel it on the wagering side of things, but there's no surprises our end, is there, JW?
The only surprise is probably it was Rosehill instead of Canterbury. I think everyone thought it'd be Canterbury that would plug the gap, but there's obviously big grants attached to some of those big purchases as well. I think they were, we buy this, the state puts in, and we build this, and none of it have happened. All these big properties that they say, and assets, and we're building our assets, and for rehoming, it's nearly impossible to get a horse into that system unless you're the right people. So there's just no transparency in anything, and I guess everyone's kind of tired of it. And it's good to see that,
Waiting for the fog.
Yeah, and to be fair, if it's me, or if it's I'm not going to just pluck a name, Jason Coyle or someone who's not doesn't have any pull in the industry coming out against and bringing things to light, nothing's ever going to happen. So it's good to see
the heavyweights.
The heavyweights, and surprising, obviously, like Chris's speech was pretty level. I thought, like, he was bringing certain things to light. He was complimentary of other things that have happened along the way. Like he seemed from the heart, which is great to see.
And I think they got similar turnover concerns as well down in Victoria. So the extra race is just masking the decline. So I think it's down 10%, or it's only just covering its base, and it's costing more money to put that extra race on.
Your boat's leaking, and you keep manufacturing the same boats and keep putting them on the river to cover. It's just going to keep leaking. So I don't understand the thought process behind extra races, extra meetings. Terry Bailey there was an interview during the week, and he said, I probably got myself in trouble here, where he was talking about, just benchmark 58s up the wazoo, bloody 2,000 metre maidens on in showcase meetings, just races that he is the target market. He just loves racing. He loves betting. He goes, I just get depressed looking at the races and don't want to bet. So that's how, the majority of people feel, I think. Yeah,
so the clock's definitely ticking, and there's a really good article, I think, or a really good interview. If you haven't heard the Gay Waterhouse sort of interview with Michael Felgate, Trav Noonan's tweeted, I think we've retweeted from our account. So nice little snapshot there. Not sure if you boys have got anything to add.
With the extra race, like, it was supposed to come in and be like an aspirant race, challenger, kind of spread the prize money, to the trainers. And I think aspirant, you can't have more than 5 winners in town, and the challenger's a certain amount of runners in town, I'm pretty sure. But I haven't really seen them since the start of the spring. Like, they're pretty few and far between, those races, and they've just turned into, either a benchmark 70 here and a benchmark 70. Like, even on Saturday, there's a few of those lower class races starting the card. And then there seems like looking at the program, we had a horse win on Sunday in the Wallora Cup. It was a 2,200 metre benchmark 70. There was a 2,200 metre benchmark 64 on the same day. Then there was a race in town for him on Saturday. There's a 2,200 metre benchmark 70 again at Bendigo this Saturday, the Morong Cup. And there's a 2,000 metre 64 at Moonee Valley. Like, there can't be that many of those horses around. Like, they got to look at the program.
And then you'll probably be 3 weeks down the track, and there won't be a race on the calendar for him for a month.
Yeah.
Something, Anyway, that's good. But
I'll look at like race 1 at Flemington on Saturday. Like, there's just no depth to that race. There's so many of those 2,000 metre races. Like, and people are just looking at them like, what do you want to bet on here? Like, they're not really driving wagering those kind of races, are they? Like, I think an aspirant where you get a full field or something is probably more interesting to do the form on than a race where they're just going around.
First race at Randwick on Saturdays, Switzerland, Shangri-La Express, and 2 or 3 other really good 2-year-olds that'll all probably play some sort of part in the slipper, market at least after the race. It's the first race, then you go like highway, midway, horrible. The last 2 races are absolute tripe. Even just lining up that race should be a part of the card. I said it's a 2-year-old race, but it should be somewhere deeper into the card, not first race of the day. But yeah, it's a bit weird.
A lot of head scratching, and I think there'd be a lot of nervous people in the admin roles that have just sort of been cruising for a while, or just turning a blind eye to sort of the wrong sort of thing. So yeah, definitely need to shake up, and I think it's coming.
There's a heap of the fields we've got Saturday positive. There's a heap of positives. It's just too much product. It's just too much. Just need to carve it back.
And a different solution to Rose Hill. So anyway, watch this space, and I think a couple of big meetings are coming up in the next few weeks. So I think there's one on the 27th and 28th, so the Tuesday, Wednesday of February, around the same time as we got the stream, and it'd be interesting to see if PVL spends his time at those meetings or makes comment about the situation. He's been deathly quiet about it, and it sort of coincides with the Saturday NRL Vegas trip. So not sure how he's going to go with that, and it just seems like the jungle drums are beating over in the NRL world because Ben Eichen and he's in court with the NRL. He's in court with all the TAB, and he's in court with all the states. So he's under a fair bit of pressure, I would have thought.
Rosehill sale and the Vegas trip, 200 million spend
coinciding.
Yeah,
same event.
His phone's going to be ringing.
Interesting stuff. On a positive note, I think this is probably the best story of the week. Was probably Cabalus, $300,000 second-hand horse on the English sale after Cornwall paid $1 million. That's as sweet as life gets for the crew at Derby Racing, I would have thought.
It was weird. I remember we were talking about it at the time. Like he ran against Estrella, that thing that came out and won well on Saturday. We were talking way back then about how that was going to be a really strong race, and then it was like Waller sort of half ran the horse into the ground, sort of kept towing it, which was very unusual for him, and it was important owners to his stable. We couldn't really work out what he was doing with this horse because he sort of just kept running it up and back. He backed it up one week, and then it was on Inglis. We were like, what the hell? And there were rumours that had a few little issues, the horse, and to the big man's credit, he's got hold of it, and I don't even think JP was that blown away with him first up. But, and again, it was a bit of a funky race the other day. He had, Fitness Edge and the way the track was playing things. He was probably, right spot, right time, but he blew him away. And now, hopefully they've got a really good horse on their hands.
What'd you make of your boyfriend, Walt, Tom Kitten?
I thought he went huge. Poor old hippo. I think it's been overblown. Poor old bugger. He's been in Twitter everywhere and social media losing the ride on Storm Boy, but he lost the ride on Storm Kitten about an hour later.
Tom Kitten.
So Tom Kitten as well, so Storm Kitten. But, I thought it went huge through the line. It was just that ugly run race. And the other one probably up the fence, our other boyfriend, was a Classic Legend. He just sort of didn't get his chance, and I don't think things suited him there. But pretty much everything except for probably Griff got at least a tick. But Tom Kitten, I don't know what his race is going to be. It's going to be at least a mile.
Yeah, it's definitely getting hotter at the moment, and Nico's very hot down in Tassie, and as I said before, 28th of February, we're going to do a hump day, a mid-week stream. It's going to be a ripper. So Nico's going to do Launceston. He'll have his eye on Sandown. I'll help him with the Sandown form as well. He'll be busy. Gawler was good to us yesterday in the syndicate, and I'm enjoying the Adelaide form at the moment. Donnie will have something to do, and Walt will Skype in from his dungeon if he's got anything from Rose Hill. So good support cards there. TopSport are up for it, and Nico's up for it. So I have to dust the cobwebs off and see if we can stay awake for 6 hours on the stream. It's going to be a beauty.
When was the last one? Was it the Masters?
I think we had a bit of a crack at the Wolf Den, boys. Did we? Did we go?
That never happened, did it?
No, we didn't we? On SA Derby Day?
Derby Day, yep. SA Derby Day.
Did we
stiff.
go? It was
very stiff that day.
I think we were all in together. Didn't we load up the thing that ran second in the Derby or something?
Yeah, promises kept, yep.
Yeah.
Kings and Dan O were tipping it huge run, but just Duncal beat us. Duncal, the line finder. Our line finder from early days.
Exactly. So anyway, that's going to be an absolute cracker and something to look forward to on a Wednesday. So maybe call in sick that day or just have it on the second screen at your office, or everyone works from home now anyway, or a lot of people do. So you can follow via the app, and we'll put a little Telegram group out as well so you can follow all the bets if you're stuck out of range. Donnie is seeing him okay at the moment. He had La Vampire last week. The Syndicate's sort of steady. We had a couple of sick beats. Warrior Falls at $23 and Southport Tycoon. We'd be nearly back to par if those horses had lob, but I think we've backed about 6 or 7 winners in the last week, so definitely on the right sort of trend there. Walt, both of you boys have got bulk rain coming, 30 to 40 mil between now and Saturday.
Yeah, and it changed from tomorrow sort of hammer down to now sort of 20 both days, which is not great because, you can normally dodge one storm potentially, but back-to-back might be nasty. Hopefully it just stays in the 6 range or something like that, which, I don't think they've put any water on it, surely, so it'll cop a little bit of rain, and hopefully it doesn't rain race day. So
very tricky for horses first up, and again, there could be some with a little bit of fitness edges and things like that, so tricky stuff. Hobart was good for you on Sunday, Loudmouth, and the Cup was pretty straightforward. Alhambra Aladdin, Aurora's Symphony, and Aurora's was a dominant winner down there for Simon Watt, who's going okay still, and Flemington's got a deluge of rain. I'll just have a quick look at some of the features at Flemington. They're pretty big lead-up races for the rest of the spring, so I think they warrant some attention. And then DK, you've been on fire. I think you're 2 from 2 and looking for a hat-trick from your early stuff. So early shoppers were licking their lips, so it pays to jump on the podcast early before we send the email out. So make sure you're listening each week because DK doesn't mind going off early on the Pakenham or the Thursday night card. TopSport Steamers found Australia, and then you rubber stamped it too off out of your chat room too, Walt. So you got out of your lane and gave it the old press, and it won with a leg in the air. So it was a nice little get out for a few punters there. TopSport obviously do the stream, so make sure you support them. They've got best of the best to win 5,000 all Group 1 races. So they're still attacking, and they're Australian owned and operated. So make sure you bet local with those boys and support them as they support us. And yeah, they've been trying to fight the fight in terms of all the taxes and the wagering, and are sort of ahead of the game in terms of the best possible outlook of the game. So make sure you get around TopSport and give them a good run. As I said, Nico, you got problems too down at Flemington. The weather, Nico, up to 50 mil until Saturday.
I don't think that's true.
There's no rain on the forecast.
I'm looking 25 and 26 the next 2 days, so I think we'll be sweet.
Okay, I might be barking up the wrong tree. But,
the wrong forecast, Scott. It's clear. Yeah. Clear here. 26, 27, 27.
Might be looking at the wrong
You
Flemington.
might have looked at it 10 minutes ago. It does change pretty often.
Yeah. Anyway, if it's not bushfires, power outages, there's something going on. But Nico, show us the way in race number 4. Who Dares is a favourite here, $4. Circle of 5, $4.20. Up and under $6. Magnaspin, $6.50. Bell's Saviour, $7. Greenbelt, $9. Rumble again, $17. Coco, $21. Turbio, $21. Gracias Amigo, $21. Favourite here, Who Dares, very short, $4. 1,600's a big query for mine, but the horse you're going to shine some light on is the Queen's old horse, Circle of Fire. I don't know if she's still got it, Nico, but here it is in the purple.
Tipping she doesn't still have it.
Red. Mate, you can't say red sleeves, just working his way outside horses here.
The King's horse. This horse actually ran in the Queen's Vase. They set him on a bit of a staying campaign over the summer or over the period of big racing there in Ascot, and I'm not sure he's a real stayer, this horse. This was over a mile. This is only a maiden win. I have no idea what he beat, but I could see why they're sort of bringing him out to Australia off the turn of footy showed on this occasion. I thought this was a really big win. I went back and sort of went looking for a replay because his trial probably wasn't much to look up into. Just ran into the heat okay at Caulfield, but he ran up backsides late. So I thought that was a very impressive win from a horse that he's only had one win at the mile. Then they stretched him out last campaign. Started $9 in the Queen's Vase. The second horse there was St. George, who was high up in Melbourne Cup betting. And the more you dig through his form, he's sort of got that form around Valiant King and a few of those other runners that come out for the Cup. So he's definitely got the group class sort of staying form over there. You got to get sort of a bit creative here. First up over a mile. The trial was good, but yeah, as I said, you probably didn't learn a whole lot there. Drawn barrier number 1. Market's going to be pretty telling late, but I did think it was a race where Who Dares is probably a little bit chinky getting out to 1,600 metres, does bring in the best form with the second of Jimmy Star, and then where do you kind of go looking after that? Maybe Magnaspin, Circle of Fires on debut here in Australia, so it's up and under. Up and under's drawn 14 of 13. Circle of Fire draws 1, so I think he's going to get a better run in transit. And I just think he could be quite a smart horse. So looking through the form lines and just how impressive he was on that debut win, I kind of get the feeling he's not a stayer, just with that turn of footy showed. And they might have stretched him out last campaign just to get him to a race like the Queen's Vase, given his connections. So yeah, brought out by Ma Eustace and Kieran Ma just now. So yeah, very interesting. I don't know if you had any thoughts there, DK. Maybe not your wheelhouse. Looking at
my wheelhouse.
European maidens, but gee, it was an impressive win nonetheless.
Yeah, it was. It looked at what I saw there looked all right the naked eye, but I didn't have a look at this one. I didn't see it see you were tipping in it in the run sheet, so I bypassed this one. I haven't got anything for you there.
I think they're the two horses of interest for me, 5 and 6, Up and Under and Circle of Fire. I'm going to let you, Nico, from the yard and the market sort of tell the story.
Waller first up and Ma first up. Oh my God.
That'll be the key. That probably the market there, like how firm they are late. A horse like Circle of Fire, but yeah, I think everything we've seen, he could be just a smart horse here, and he just strikes a very winnable benchmark, 84 on debut in Australia. So they haven't missed him. Like sort of 2 or 3 years ago, it might be $8. Now he's right into $4. But yeah, I think if he's got a positive sort of market push, and we give him a bit of a push from the yard, I think he's definitely probably one of the more interesting runners on the day, and a horse that yeah, I could get keen on with a few things that line up. So something a bit different there, but he looks like a talent.
D-Lane jumps off Who Dares onto the Waller horse. So
does he ride for Waller a lot? I was just thinking that. I was just saying D-Lane Waller. I don't see that much, but
He has a little bit,
He's on Vilnius tomorrow night, and he's
a little bit
rides
recently, yeah.
Yeah, he rides. He's been riding the maidens down here.
Oh, I don't mind that angle, Nico. So we'll see how it all plays out from the yard, and we'll bet with confidence from then. Race 10 is the other one, the York Trophy. Some oddly named races here. What was it, the Royal Ascot, and then now the York Trophy. Benchmark 84 here over 1400. Race 10, last leg of the quaddie. Punch Lane $2.60, Bel Air $4.80, Helix $8, dual nominated in Adelaide, Meritus $11, Lloyd Kennewell over at the Super Bowl. That also caught my eye as well. Here's our Bonneville, $12, Jenny Lala $14, Master Montaro $16, Lantua Ruby $20, Aaron Bay is $21, Poland $26, and that rounds us out. Punch Lane bounced back into good form last start, Nico.
Yeah, well, he put up lame out of the race at Sandown. I sort of half took him on a little bit this day, and we found the second and third horse, and he was just way too good for him in the end. Mark Zara went on board here. I think they put the bubble cheeker on potentially in this run, and just love the way he put away the field. This is a big step up in grade, but he drops in weight down to 56 kilos, and if he replicates this performance from a data point of view, if he runs up to this figure again, he probably will just win again. So dominant performance. Love the way he sort of attacked through the line there. And then you've got a race where, again, where do you sort of go looking if you're not with him? Bel Air, I heard on the radio they're going to ride him very cold from the barrier with the blinkers off to get him to hit the line. Helix has got very intertwined form with Bel Air. I think Bel Air's a better horse. Master Montaro's got a sticky map, so does he's our Bonneville. So it kind of leads all roads to Punch Lane, who keeps Zara, should get a nice run just in behind the speed. Getting to Flemington looks a big tick for this horse. Nice big straight. I'd love a bit better than 260. I think he's probably quite short at the moment. It'd be a price I'd be happy to take.
You've just declared him.
I've just got to wait.
I think he'll get better.
I'm just going to wait and sort of think 280 or 290 we might get on the day, hopefully.
There might be some resistance, which was my first thing when I looked at it. I love looking against favourites who are off the PR, off their last run. It's a starting point, right? Because they've had all possible favours, the way the track was playing, everything like that, okay? So there might be some views along that. So then you have to overcome that. And he's a really nice horse with upside. Looking for him to get to Flemington, looking for him a blending run, what he can do. And I think the key there, and Zara said it after he got off there, was giving him one with the left. Right, he said, when I gave him one with the left, I didn't have to give him another one. He was soft as butter late. So if he gets up him early or late with the left, he might just take off and put him away, especially with that weight. That's right. And then where do you go? We know we've seen Helix heaps lately. We've seen Bel Air heaps. You know, the others have got sticky maps. So he's still got plenty of upside. He's only got the one blemish. Apart from that, he's had two very soft wins either side. Plenty more in the tank. So, yeah, but I think there might be a little bit of resistance there with off the PR.
Yeah, he's, you know, if you really want to dig deep, he probably doesn't have a lot of strength to his form, which I think a lot of people will be looking at it. Well, 245, TopSport went up. Like, he did get beaten at benchmark 70 2 starts ago, and he only won a 70 last start. Now he's a long way up in grade to an 84 here. So I think given that, there might be some resistance in the market, but he's a horse with a bright future by the looks of things. So, yeah, hopefully a little bit of a drift, and we'll bet up.
Isn't that what Gordo says? Let there be resistance. Let there be resistance. I'm still backing it.
I don't know where to go with that. Flemington race 10, number 8, Jenny Lala, Nico. Have you seen her Cranbourne Barrow
I thought
trial?
she was...
Can she take the next
step? She may be one of the
not?
dangers here. She was really good winning first up last campaign in benchmark 84 grade. Yeah, she's a mare with quite another one that's got probably a bit of a future, but maybe over further. I didn't mind the trial, but it probably wasn't the strongest trial heat over the 1,000 metres there. I know Sage Magique was in it, but Flossing and a few others. It's probably again, not the strongest heat, but yeah, I didn't mind the trial, but I just thought maybe a little bit further for her, but she might be the black booker to come out of the race. So, if you're going away looking from Punch Lane, there's just not much in it. Like you could have her second pick just because she might just have a lot stronger form than a few of the other runners.
I just sort of looked at her, and I can remember her first up, last up, being pretty impressive. So I thought she could be a bit of a fly in the ointment at big price, and old Tony Otto Bray might come out swinging and back her to win $1 million or something wild like that. But be good to see that sort of pull off as well and take the bookies' money. But Cracking race, but Punch Lane the way for you, Nico. As I said, Nico's back on the Manning Up Mail. He was there yesterday. Struck gold early, getting the $1.60 shot beat, back the $12 chance. So that set up the day pretty well for you, Nico. But you're back on deck at Flemington, your favourite place, Saturday. And I'd recheck the weather, and yes, I was incorrect there. It's definitely fine and sunny. So bit of egg on face
I wish
here.
we were wrong about the Sydney one. It looks like it's hosing at Rosehill. I just saw Storm Boy win a trial by about 8, and it's hosing down there.
They might need an arc instead
for
Sydney.
Fingers crossed it doesn't hit Randwick.
Beautiful lead-up races, feature races at Flemington. I'll leave Eagle Farm for our subs and Adelaide. I will be betting in both areas. But the CS Hayes Stakes is an absolute cracker. It's a springboard for the Guineas and a couple of big races here, and odds courtesy of TopSport. King Colorado is the favourite here at $3. Otago is $4.40. Riff Rock at $6.50. Verdad $9.50. Run Harry Run $11. Hey Fat Cat. Robbie just doing Robbie things here. $11. A 2 Brute $15. Townhouser $18. A more 26 Ambassadorial 26 Cap for $26 Amigo, and then Flying Valley are well out the gate. 2 replays here we're going to have a look at. First one is King Colorado. Absolutely no intent here, and zipped home to the line really well. We'll say it again. This is the horse that Walt found at 1,000,000 to 1 in the JJ Atkins. So, Nico, question: how far forward was he this day, and what do you think of him as a type?
Oh, I love the return from the yard. He looked really well just within himself. Love the way he's come back. He's probably strengthened up a bit since his spring campaign. He definitely had a lot of improvement to come from a fitness point of view, and the way that race shape worked out, I think he was actually kind of suited how it was a bit of a rolling gallop. He probably has the best stamina of a few of those horses, and I think that came right into play late. So this is an interesting test for him. He's going to have to go back from the draw. You think he's got 59.5 kilos. He hasn't won since the JJ Atkins. He raced well throughout the spring, but he wasn't the star 3-year-old. Maybe that first up run is the writing on the wall. He has improved, but I thought it was a little bit sticky for him. And at around $3, it's probably not a race I'm going to get too involved in, but I thought he was a little bit short. I don't know what you thought, DK, but I just...
Yeah, there's a few. Yeah, no, I've seen similar thoughts. Yeah, I was sort of with the map. He's going to have a little bit against him, so there's a few nice up and comers in this race. So
let's have a look at
What's he could be like a Derby horse potentially? What are they actually aiming at? Like a
King
second
Colorado?
2,000 metre horse? Yeah, it's a gutsy play taking it in 2-1.
I'm not convinced he's
they're all
2,000
going to
metre.
Guineas. Are they going to Guineas? All these things?
Australian Guineas, yeah.
And then on from there,
But
I
they
guess.
probably want
it's,
further. They'll probably want further, and they're staying at 14. Well, anyway.
There are a lot of fresh, good horses coming. Jesus, and Etu Brute, I thought, went like a rocket at
did.
Sandown.
Let's have a look at the trial of Otago. Nico, talk us through this one.
Yeah, in the roll of the dice racing colours, just coming down the middle.
I love roll the dice.
It was a trial where there was a few nice horses. Basilina's out the back. I thought she were warmed up okay for the vanity. My slight knock with Otago is he hits the lead here and he gets asked for a bit of an effort and he just lays in. Again, he did the same thing at
Flemington.
He got
Gave us all a heart attack.
Got to his mates and then he didn't go past him. Obviously, he puts them away quite easily there, and he did it on debut as well. He put the field away, but I just don't know if he's as seasoned as a few of the other horses. Like, he's obviously got a lot of raw ability. I think he gets the best run in the race from barrier number 3. It's just, can he do that against these horses and potentially give, he's obviously not running to his best if he's wanting to lay in and not reaching his full potential. Can he do that? And, King Colorado and Riff Rocket, Verdad.
That's right.
They got proper form from last campaign. So, he's a fascinating runner as well. So I thought Verdad was probably the bomb-proof horse. It's just whether he's
trial like a jet, didn't it?
Yeah, trialled really well. It's just where the 1400 first up back from a derby's what he's looking for, but he'll probably get the right run as well. It's a great race.
It is. And as we said, Heatchote Brute, as far as the maiden winners go, has come back a different horse, gelded, just reeling off what it did the other day at Sandown. Hey, Fat Cat was a funny run the other day when he wouldn't go out of the gates and stuff like that, but he wants further. But, geez, I've watched his last 100 the other day. So,
and I think Big D kind of, once he missed the start, there wasn't a lot of intent to be up there. You want to see the steward report.
They called him in. There's a big paragraph in there saying, what the hell were you doing? Robbie wanted him to lead. He's fucking last.
I think he might have had
8s too already.
Had the thought they might back it up.
Yeah.
Why would you do that with a horse like Fat Cat?
I'd probably just try and iron out these little issues he's got as a young horse. I suppose the more he goes to the races, the more he irons him out. Maybe that may be his thinking. But Robbie was never shy to keep running him, is he?
Deep end as well. I thought there'd be easier targets in the Group 2 while the horse has still got training wheels on. But yeah, anyway, as you say, DK, it is Robbie. Verdad was an interesting runner for me, but I thought he'd be if they bet $4 King Colorado, I think I'll be launching. I think this horse is an out-and-out 1,400 metre horse. I thought he was huge in the Wink Stakes behind Fangirl, Princess Grace, Zaki, Hinged. All that form's much better than any of these. I thought Otago was a little bit chinky. I thought Otago was looking for a mile already, if not 2,000 metres. I think this is going to be far too short for him. And he looked okay beating those horses at Flemington a month ago, but I think King Colorado would pick him up and carry those sort of horses. And I just think they've gone the wrong way with King Colorado out to 2,000 metres. I think he's more sort of 1,200, 1,400 and 1,600s. He's sort of out of limit. I think he's a really good horse, this horse, and he just did that Caulfield Guineas run all on guts and determination. He's an absolute trier, this horse, I think, but he just needs to come back in trip. And, gee, if he can't win this 1,400 metre race on Saturday, I'm just sort of barking up the wrong tree. I've nearly got him marked as a complete moral. That's me. Flemington race 8, the Lightning Stakes over 1,000 metres. Imperatriz is all the rage here. $1.80, $1.90 into $1.80. Private Eye $5 in from 6. Bella Nipotina $5.50 in from $10. So absolute cave-in job. That one. I'm Unstoppable $7. Cylinder $8.50. Espiona $17. Astrologist $26 and Rich Fortune $101. So, wow, 10 into $5.50 is a massive move, and I know it is a TopSport Steamer. So someone has said that the $10 is completely incorrect, but let's look at the trial.
How could you put up $10?
Well, did you knock it off?
You'd have to be having like an epileptic fit to put up $10. She was dead set the best horse nearly in the spring.
Imperatriz, Bella Nipotina, and I'm Unstoppable in this one. Okay.
Yeah, I think the key talking points Imperatriz, like Bella Nipotina and I'm Unstoppable both look pretty good, but the connections that come out and said she's just potentially, at her home track probably didn't put in. The jump out at Mornington was really good.
Yeah, that was her. That was her trucking to the line. And, gee, she was
flogged Midtown Boss.
It's always something. So if she gets beat on the weekend, then people are going to, you want to steel yourself, don't you? So that's going to be in the back of the mind of all punters taking the short, though.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's not an ideal preparation of wanting to be launching into $1.80 because it's going to be there in the back of your mind. So I have watched a few of her trials in New Zealand. I did see some commentary on Twitter that can be her sometimes.
Okay.
Like she's not the best trial. Like she doesn't set the world on fire at the trials over there a few times. So I did watch a trial over there and she just kind of poked around. She was good through the line in one of them, but that may just be her. She just and they said she's had a little bit of some difficulty recently with the hot weather. So they've had to sort of help her out there with putting a few extra fans. Yep. So maybe she just had a bit of an off day and race day.
Well, as I said, with horse trainers, your dad's one of them. The bloods, they do all the bloods. There's so many, as the trainer said, there's so many checks and balances done on these horses to make sure when they go to the races, they're 100%. And they know her well. So
and there was a really good video on Wolf Den actually with Ben Gleeson about just pretty much like a morning in the life. And they really shed some light on how they sort of treat Imperatriz, and obviously she's the best horse there, so she's getting looked over all the time. But I would have thought if they think that trial, that sounds like they don't think the trial was that big a deal.
Yep.
So
yep.
Fascinating, because if you think she's going well enough, you could get her like $1.60 off her ratings if you wanted to, and you could go the other way and go, it's not going well, I want to be against it. So. I didn't really have a huge opinion in the race. I thought Espiona trialled very well. I think she'll run a good race and head to the Newmarket. Private Eye, I think he's...
Well, I was going to ask, Walt's the Private Eye man. Joe Pride's never scared. We always respect him if he brings one down here and he wants to come and take it on. So what do you reckon, Walt?
It's not a 1,000-metre horse.
No, it's a barrier trial for the Newmarket.
He can win, but I don't know why he's second favourite. Yeah, he's definitely
She was running through brick walls last time in Bella Nipotina. Cylinder, obviously, got to have a bit of a look at the 3-year-olds.
He trialled really well.
I would have thought. And if you forgive the call...
Oh, he's good just on the Godolphin horses. Well, there's something about the other ones there. What about Zapateo and Kalos? The other, they've got them right or something's changed there because...
Fresh.
Fresh.
They're not finishing the course in Sydney. They're dead set going like absolute crabs in Sydney. They're going horrendous.
Or whatever they're doing down here, like... Those things they just savaged the other day, like Callis and Zapateo, and that,
Perfect setup for Carlos.
Kin, another one.
Yep.
Yeah, the 2-year-olds are struggling in Sydney. They're sort of doing a lot wrong. They just don't seem to be on song. So it's weird that they're going well down there. Maybe it's a bit
They got a new man down in Flemington.
Ah, yes. Who we got?
Nassim. So
Nassim.
interesting. That might have something to play with. But yeah, their Melbourne horses seem to be going well enough. So Cylinder seems the one here that might have the most intent. Like he had the blinkers on in the recent jump out. He was down the straight, D lane on here. They could have waited for the Oakley plate. Like he'd be so well in an Oakley plate, and they're coming here. Like it just feels like they got a bit of sense of timing with him. Yeah, get like full kitchen sink maybe. Try and get the Group 1 with maybe a few of those horses like Imperators and Private Eye, who are better horses, but they could be underdone.
And he is a 1,000-metre horse, you would imagine, especially against it. There doesn't look a lot of speed, is there? Like there's a bit, but not crazy. They'll be pretty bunched.
No speed. Yeah. So that'll make it. You know, if there's no speed and there's only 3 or 4 lengths between them, like the Private Eye and Espiona, like those horses with huge turn of foots, they really come into play? Or does Damien Lane see that the way he's riding recently and go, I'm going to make this a bit more of a test and get these horses out of their comfort zone on a horse that's first up, blinkers on, jumped out like a rocket down the straight. Like, great race. Super
1,200-metre turn of foot is different to 1,000 too, though, isn't it? Like those real sharp horses, they all run 33 or whatever. You know, like your Private Eyes just sort of, they blend in over 1,000, whereas they look like winks over 1,200, 1,400. It's a good race.
I thought that the 1,000-metre horse could be unstoppable. It's had Zach Payne all its life. Got too far back, which is just uncharacteristic B shin. I'm going to have to go back and watch the replay, but instead of sort of sitting handy last time, I'm Unstoppable, he's gone back to sort of 9th, got held up and sort of flashed late against Osmosis. Now gets car, perfect jockey, and I thought maybe he's a 1,000-metre horse, and I'd be playing around the 3-year-olds before I stepped into the $1.80.
Why doesn't she just gap him?
Who's that?
The favourite. The favourite, and Bella Nipotina looks like the only danger to me. But anyway, yeah, that's if Cylinder, I think, will be a kitchen sink job, but I just don't know if they're as good as her. Surely old Kingsley steps in, has his 3.7 million on it, starts at $1.40, the Wolfden's favourite horse, and they write a movie after it.
They might be writing a movie about if it gets beat.
If he's having a bad run, he just might go, well, we're getting out today, boys. Throw the bomb.
Oh, it's going to be... We should just get
That's the thing. Like, I think it's a really... Like, you're going to get $1.90 probably on the day, maybe even $2. Like, that's a real attractive price to have that play, because if you just take her off her most recent form, like,
that's it.
How does she get beat?
And that's sometimes a good way, Take it off her form.
Don't grey up. Don't listen to the outside noise and just look at the ratings. Which is
the Wolfden boys weren't down there filming its last trial day, were they? They didn't put the heavy shoes on and just so they could drop an atomic bomb first up.
Yeah. Gosh.
That would be a good story. I would pay my $22 to go and sit and watch that one.
I would rather sit in between DK and Walt and give double wristies than taking even money about Imperatrice. I would absolutely not do it.
If you knew it was on song? Yeah,
there's no chance I'd take that. There's so many other bets across the country than jamming into that at $1.80. Just buyer beware.
I love it. I love the thought of it.
Hot towel, lube and all. Puntingform.com.au is the best step you can take to taking form more serious. Transition to a full-time punter, learn about the benchmarks. You watch your tapes, you got the data to back you up, so you can't be tricked and teased by fake news. And it's definitely been a game changer for me. So puntingform.com.au is what I trust, and you guys should dip your toe in the water if you haven't tried it. And I can't breathe without it, and it'll change your whole perspective on racing, and you'll start having an idea, because there's a lot of people in racing that have got absolutely no idea and come out and bag jockeys, and they are a mile off the mark on various other shows. I won't name them, but you can probably figure it out.
John O'Neill, why would you bag John O'Neill? You're not a good bloke, are you?
Anyway, Zara's giving me a clip, so it's good to see. Randwick race 7, big asterisks on the weather. And it's the Apollo Stakes Group 2. Fangirl's the favourite here. 2:15. I'm not sure if she's a wet track horse. Bess is definitely not on wet tracks. She went through that spate of bad form on wet. But she's 2:15 favourite here anyway, with J-Mac. Militarizers 480 for Karen. Not sure where Marrera is, but think at over 650. Buckaroo 650. Lindemann $8.50. Cascadian $12. Attractable $18. And then you got Navajo Peak, the giant killer, and then Arapaho well outside the gate, looking for a miracle or a bit of a pipe opener there. But Militarized Trial is what we're going to have a look at here, Walt, and he's just sort of sitting
3 wide just behind him.
5th.
So it's been jumping really well. First trial, no blinkers, jumped really well, was up there, sort of got a little bit tired or they easy on it late. Then this one, they whacked the blinkers on, which I think's a good intent. I think that's Buckaroo back on the inside. Is it Think It Over just inside? They're all sort of in there together. Is that Fangirl down the outside?
Yep, that's Fangirl, yep.
Down the outside. So they're all there. I'm just banking on intent here. I'm definitely banking on the rain coming because, the firmer the track, the more dangerous Fangirl certainly will be. I think she won a very similar race to this first up last time on a softish. I think it was a 6. It was a little bit better than that potentially. But, like a 6 or a 7 would probably be ideal for Militarized. I can see him camping right behind. I don't think he'll be behind Fangirl. I'd say he'd be 4th, 5th here, hopefully. McAvoy is the scary one. He looked unbelievable there a week or two ago. And then on Wednesday, we saw he was back to sleepy K-Mac. So hopefully K-Mac gets the pre-workout into him before this race and jams Militarized right behind the leaders. And it's just the intent of this is the first time he's had blinkers on early in his prep. There's no doubt they want him to win these sort of races from a Colt perspective. It's just sort of to be winning each prep. He hasn't won for a while. He only won one time last prep. So there's a much bigger carrot for the Waller crew to have this horse ready to go straight off the bat here and work his way through the prep compared to, say, Fangirl, who she's done enough, and if she wins, they'll be happy, but they won't be too concerned if the Colt beats her home, I don't think. Lindemann trialled really well, a few of them trialled well, but I'm just banking on him having the class over it. He definitely does need that rain to arrive, I would say. Like 6, 7 would be absolutely ideal for him.
She still can rate okay on the wet tracks, but
she can, but she's going to be back, sort of giving him 3 or 4 length start on this surface, and he wasn't in that. So I think he's just... I'm not going to say she's going to have a... I wouldn't be surprised if he scratched her. I don't know what if it was wet just to get Militarized home. I think it's worth a lot of money to everyone if this horse wins, and I think this is his race, whereas this may not be hers.
Okay.
You got to take a line, haven't you?
Yeah. I've got no firm opinion here. Have you boys?
The first thing I thought when I saw Militarized in the yard was wet tracker. So if he gets that on Saturday, and obviously you saw that throughout the autumn last year when he put up the picket fence late there in the Champagne and a few of those races. So yeah, the wetter the better for him. He's that's the first thing you think when you see him. He's just a little nimble horse that will swim. So that's definitely a big advantage for him on Saturday.
And he doesn't have a mad turn of foot. He's a builder, isn't he? Like he needs that wet to have an advantage over Fangirl because she will outsprint him on hard, fast ground. But 14 bit soft, I think he'll be able to sort of get through the gears a bit more, and she'll struggle to reel him in.
Oh yeah, I think he's a bloody good horse. But yeah, I wouldn't.
I'm scared that you're not horned up because you're a big Militarized man.
Oh, I just haven't got that far now.
Gawler first.
Morpheville and all those sort of things. It's a bit tricky for me. Race 8 is the light finger. Surprise! This isn't a Group 1. Jesus, nearly fitting of one. Tis Invincible, $3.60. Learning to Fly, $4. Mumbai Muse, $7. Arctic Glamour, $7.50. Kamachi, $8. For Seal, $9.50. Autumn Ballet, $14. Christilli, $17, and then Steffi Magnetica is $19. But we're going to have a look at Learning to Fly.
You missed about half the runners there. That was one of the worst reading out of prices ever.
Okay, tell us why you're fancied.
So she's had an issue. Obviously, she's like 334 days off. 1,200 with the prospect of a wet track first up off a long break would normally send me into a coma. But obviously got a big opinion of this horse. But she's had 3 trials. Apparently, she's been in work for like 6 months. So whereas normally a horse like this would be certainly under the gun fitness-wise and giving it away to horses off shorter breaks, I think they've just taken their time with this horse. There's no way in the world they're risking her running on any sort of soft ground if she's not absolutely ready to go. And I think that she's going to run extremely well here. Chad does send shivers down my spine, but from a wide draw, wet Randwick, I don't think it really matters. She's been jumping extremely well. She'll position herself somewhere sort of in that first third of the field, I would say. And whilst Tis Invincible is a big, strong thing that's very scary here, I'm hoping with the wet ground and the base that I believe Learning to Fly's had, she's going to be very hard to beat here.
Any thoughts, Nico? I haven't got that far yet.
Gee, she looks like a beast in her trial. Just love the way she moved there late. Really strong through just her back end. She looks like a colt looking at it, the vision there. So it'll be interesting to see how she goes. But by the stallion at the moment, Justify, he's absolutely flying, isn't he? Stormboy just bolted into trials. So, there's probably a bit of intent there as well. Now with Coolmore buying into him, owning her. So, there could be a lot of intent there first up.
I reckon there'll be some serious intent with Justify's stallion price increase next season. Holy cow, it could go through the roof. But yeah, she's always looked like so far developed. And I hate when they have these breaks, but it might be the making of her. She could be a real star, and I doubt if you're right. I don't think we'll be getting 450 about her in too many races like this if he falls on track.
How's my form? I had the opportunity to buy into a Justify weanling that was going to be like prepped up and sold at the yearling sales this year. I thought, oh no, I'll give it a miss. And now they'll probably all make 200, 300,000 no matter what they look like.
They'll make 200 on spec, won't they? They really will. It's going to be absolutely, carnage every time a Justify comes through. If it's got 4 legs, it's going to have 6 figures. So it's going to be interesting.
So I've missed my chance there.
Lucky you've got unlimited, so it's all good.
Oh, well, they'll just come back round through the next sale. Cablis is prime example.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey?
Exactly.
Feels like me with
And he's a colt.
when I had a mare, I lit up at Woodend, went out to see Written Tycoon, locked in the 11,000 for the fee, and then cast. I was cast. I didn't have the 11, so I said to Suman Hedge at the time, mate, I'm cast, and we're going to have to pull the pin on that. That next thing, they're 100,000, and they're all going for 200,000 in the yearling sale. So yeah, that's my one as well, Nico.
Stick to betting us, not getting the breeding way.
Stay in your lane.
I've got no good breeding stories. They're all hard
That's
luck
a
ones.
brutal caper.
It's a game of numbers.
Outstanding stuff. If you want more of Johnny's analysis, head to racingwatch.com.au and you can jump in the Discord chat there, or you can get the Telegram service. $6 or $9 winner yesterday. Tommy Berry.
Good Tommy. He scared me. The old jump in front. I'm like, what are you doing, Tommy? But
He's riding well.
yeah, he is. He's especially back in the field, but he's riding well. And everyone who knows me knows that'll pain me to say it, but he's probably the form jockey of Sydney at the moment.
Cracking fields there at Randwick on Saturday. Alenchi is back. Buenos Noches, Samana, King of Sparta. Yeah, some really good horses returning.
It's just all about that rain, isn't it? Like you probably nearly got to do the form 2 different ways, and it depends what happens. It's probably going to be whether it's testing or firm or bottomless. It's probably 3 different ways, but yeah, hopefully it's somewhere in the middle, and we can have some idea what's going to happen.
Hold on to your nuts and see what happens. Beautiful. Hobart is on the quick backup from their Cup meeting last week. So they've got a couple. They've got 2 in a row. And then we head to Launceston for the midweek stream. So no rest for the wicked, Nico. They're flogging you this summer.
I'm going to duck out for this segment if you're showing that replay, mate. It's too soon.
Race 2, the Kevin Sharkey Maiden over 4. It happens a couple of times a week.
No, this was bad. And then to throw the protest in when it was just like, it was embarrassing. It was the ride.
Hobart Race 2, Kevin Sharkey Maiden, 1430 metres. And the replay we're going to have a look at here for this one is Captain Taz. Talk us through it, Nico.
Yeah, well, it was a bit of a BBQ job here. Sort of went forward and then couldn't get in. Sat outside, 3 outside the leader, sort of half guarding there. Hits the front, long way out, and then this horse on the inside in the red cap kicks back to beat it. Rahaz, who's took 20 starts to win a maiden pretty much. So I think this is quite a strong race. The horse flashing home in the yellow, them's the break. She's got a fair bit of talent, and even the horse back in the yellow to the fence had really good trial form as well. So Captain Taz just didn't work out for him at all from the wide draw. Now he goes barrier number 5 up to 1,400 metres. They take the blinkers off, which I think may be a positive for this horse, and then they have him on the quick back up in distance. So small field, draws middle gate, just should lob in a lovely position. I think he might be a bit like the horse we tipped the other day, Loudmouth. Just probably gets the job done due to a lack of opposition. His opposition is probably Matus, but he's emergency and he probably won't get a run. So this will be quite short, I would have thought. I'd be expecting sort of evens, but I think you can probably just jam into some multis and maybe even kick off your Sunday that way early in the card. And yeah, off his last run, probably one of the strongest maidens you'll see in Tasmania. He definitely should have won it, and now he comes to a weaker race up in distance, 1,400, quick back up, just a lot of ticks for that horse. So should be getting the job done, Captain Taz.
Outstanding. Race 2, so it'll be evens into $1.50 if your recent form's anything to go by. Race 3 at Hobart is the Caviar Alice Millinery benchmark 68 over 1650. Bit of a mouthful, that one. But the horse that you like here is Dante's in the yellow.
Yeah, well, this was even sicker. I think this should have bolted in on this day. He just held up desperately for a run here. This was his first time getting to 1,600 metres. He's quite a smart horse, this Dante's. I think he might have debuted on that meeting, one of those meetings last year, and he's really sort of raced his way through the grades this campaign, gets out late, flashes home, maybe with a more senior rider on. He could have won that race with a bit more aggression late, but he was really strong through the line. Hallett's getting beat by Hallett, he's sort of at that sort of level and would be right in play in this race. And I just thought in a race with Caliber Falls, who's a winner on the quick backup as well, but he's a bit suspect getting out to 1,600 metres. He was a winner at 14 the other day, and even his form with previous stables, he's sort of got out over a distance of 1,500 metres twice and been unplaced in both occasions. So I think he's a risk at a mile. And then Dante's probably has a little bit more upside than his three other stablemates in Rich Clan and Yarra Master. So hopefully Taylor gets it right on Sunday. Just keeps him out of trouble from barrier number 4, which will be one of the outside draws here in the small field. And I think he just might have a bit more upside than his rivals, Dante's. So following up our money after a sick beat last start.
Probably get odds on again.
Yeah, I think you can probably jam into each other if you want to play a double or put them into some multis. I think they both should be winning. So there just wasn't a lot of other races. There's only 7 races, and the card really lacks a lot of depth. The rail's out a long way, and they're small fields. So I think it might be a day just to look for the short end there, and John Keys and our man Perez get the job done in the first, and then hopefully Johnny Keys race to race double with Dante's.
Too simple. All right, TasRacing FormplusPro is very simple. It's free to join at the tasracing.com.au website. They've got the additional race replays. They've got the stewards vision also. So it's all for free there, and you can build your own black book or get the SMS alerts on your phone or via email. So a couple of options for you to choose. I've said it probably 5 times, but Launceston Cup stream, make sure you join that one 28th of Feb. And I think it's going to be a fun little stream, and we'll dust the cobwebs off and hopefully give TopSport a bit of an uppercut and a flogging. But it's time for Donnie's Best.
G'day lads, Donny here with this week's best bets. Eagle Farm, go to race 7, Sharp Dazzler. I think it's going to go good, this horse. It was good last start, winning over the same track and distance in a maiden. It's not much harder here. I think the couple of favourites a little bit vulnerable and too short, so $16 each way is very good value. And Randwick, race 1, enriched to place at $2.20.
A little bit of a curveball there. So Eagle Farm, race 7, Sharp Dazzler. I think it's definitely a race that's up for grabs. Multiple chances there. So interesting that he's playing that way. And then race 1, enriched the place. So that's T Berry, $13, $2 the place against Shangri-La Express, and then Switzerland.
Yeah, you watch it trial against the top weight, you'd say how they that far apart. So I can understand completely where Donnie's coming from there. I thought the one down the bottom is the other horse, Fly, 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 or Fly, 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 Fly. It's trialled like a rocket too. I thought the top one might be vulnerable there. All that, what's it called, the $1 million gift race, all that form hasn't looked spectacular. So
Rooter Royal winner, right?
Yeah, I still think it's only a horse. You know what I mean? I don't think that's standout form compared to other Switzerland form. Again, the horse, second horse Castagna came out and won, but I'm not sure if that's A grade form either. So I like his thinking here. Those 2 first starters could be Johnny on the spot in this race and give the race a run. Personally, I thought the toppy might be a little bit vulnerable, and sort of exotics with those two roughies is not a bad play.
Bit of a hothead, Shangri-La Express as well.
Yeah,
That's a bit of a sweat.
Gage horses are nightmares, aren't they? Like they trial and they just look a bit not lethargic, but they sort of get up there and that, and they're just sort of working their fitness up, and then race day they pick up. But he just a little bit chinky. Reggie inside might be smelly. Looks a good race to look a bit wide in. I like where Donnie's gone there.
Outstanding. He's deadly when he goes into Sydney. La Vampires last week at Canterbury. So seeing them okay, our man Donnie. And then TopSport Steam have been seeing them okay. Australia was the big winner. And this week they've got a few here. So interesting bet, this one. Flemington race 8, number 3, Bellany Patina, 222 at $10. And the big P, the big partial jobby here. So obviously a very sharp cat is just trying to go bang, bang, bang.
Back, one of the two. Partial or...
Yeah, so anyway, that's the story. Into 550. So Bookie's taking no chances now with her. Flemington race 6, number 12, Logiska, I'm going to call it. 500 at $9.50 in race 6, Nico.
DK, I think
Yeah,
you
we
know
couldn't-
more about this horse than me.
Well, it went good in the maiden. I sort of went for the Prushka horse in the maiden because I thought it's got pretty good talent. This smoked it. The Prushka thing did a bit wrong, but then alternatively, the Prushka horse was ridden a bit quieter on Sunday at Bendigo and was a good win, actually.
Really good.
It was in a race a little changed. But
I know he's got a high opinion of it too.
Yeah. So no, this you can see why that Geelong maiden rated well. This looks like it's got good upside, so you can see why there's a good throw at the stumps on this.
Deckelbait, sorry for Kieran Ma. So that's hasn't really moved the price there. So interesting one that. Randwick race 6, number 2 is Samana, 600 at $4.20 in the Trisco Stakes.
Yeah, so it was the horse that sat wide up on speed in looked like the biggest win in the history of the world in the Gold Coast Magic Millions race. After the race was a little bit poxy, but still the effort was incredible. And its first up run at Gosford as Wyong was great. Just looks like a bit of a freaky sort of horse that could have, incredible upside. Wet track will suit it. There's another horse in that race.
Same Ajit.
No,
Valentia.
I'm not worried about it. The Waller one. What's it called?
Valentia.
No, Lentia. Lentia is the other horse that's got solid wet track form. But I'd be siding with this one if the rain came, just because it's got that sort of residual, and I think it's going to run really well.
Randwick race 10, number 9, Thunderlips, 2,000 at $3. This is all the Cabalist form.
Yeah, well, it went like a busted first up and then changed the tactic, set outside the leader and smashed him second up. Björn probably is training at about 114% strike rate at the moment, not profit on turnover. I think they're winning before they even kick off. So he's hard to oppose, and that race is absolutely poxed. So there's a good chance it'll run well. I haven't done the race properly, to be honest, but yeah, certainly not knocking it. Its last start effort, sitting outside the leader, left in front early and just smashed him.
Yeah, looks completely wide open and up for grabs, that one. That's the lot.
And it's the last race. Björn in the last. So I'm tipping the mug. Will be tipping it.
Gulf right in the row, the mug or something, isn't he? Wasn't he gloating the other day? Hasn't he crowed it?
He tips Björn in the last every race.
That's
what he does. And
formula.
Björn was 8 in a row. Yeah. Or 7 in a row, whatever it is. Yeah, it's crazy.
He's kicked since he left us. Most do, but...
Has he left us, has he?
Yeah.
When did he stop?
Donny. We subbed in Donny.
Oh.
Super sub.
Sorry.
Poor Donny.
Super Don. At least we're back. At least Donny's actually graced us with his 15-second video this week.
I loved it. I love the little bit of the panning of the camera there. Just gave us a bit of a look over the fence. DK, you're on a roll. French Flirt, Pakenham. What do you got for us this
fell
week?
in. That was good. Pissed him. So you wanted to win at those odds. So no lie. This week there is actually a mile maiden. There is a mile maiden at Moonee Valley tomorrow night. So that was the starting point. And I couldn't get past the thing. I was hoping actually for better odds because a few of them have sort of got placings all alongside their names. But Limburg there, I think it's 1-8 Limburg. They did, well, the data blokes knocked the price straight off, so you can't control that. But so he's pretty short. But his form, so this is a maiden. His form all ties in, so that he's in a mile maiden at Moonee Valley. And you remember, last time he ran in over a mile at Moonee Valley was in the Stut Stakes. And he led, and only three horses got past him. Verdad, Griff, and Autumn Angel. Autumn Angel won the Ethereal. Verdad's a good horse, and Griff, of course, won the Guineas. He went to the paddock. I think they gelded him. He returned the other day and got beaten by Etat Brute, who had to reel off the best sectionals of the day and's come back like a star. That's running up against King Colorado. So, again, the top 3-year-old form. And much better suited at Moonee Valley. Of course, it's coming off the first up run at Sandown. I like it round a bend. I think it's more a leading type. It's going to hug the rail fitter. I mean, you got Ceremonies, who I took on the other day. That was a gut buster, so it's now getting deep in its prep off a gut buster. Drawn poorly. Princess P is bit one paced. Dragoon's going all right, but I think it's 6th run for the prep. They've all run 2nds and 3rds, So I think they're just sort of maidens. This thing's got the form that ties in with the real good 3-year-olds. So short but sweet. Hopefully, just jump to the front and say see you later, Limburg.
It's an interesting one. It's how often do you look at the stats and go, oh yeah, this jockey's going awful, and I think someone come out and said how bad the Hawks camp are going, and then next thing you know they go bang bang bang. We did it at Carleen last episode or a couple of weeks ago. Then she came out and rode 1 or 2 or 3 winners. So maybe Hawks can turn it around because they're going like an absolute bastard, aren't they?
Well, they've just got nice horses. Like they're all $500,000 horses. It's just it makes sense that when the penny drops, they drop.
This was $750,000 or something. This thing. But I just noticed the other day there's a Sandown meeting and they're sort of lightly raced horses all regime. They're all sort of getting home all right. They all ran all right.
Fury was good as well from the back.
Yeah, Fury. And it's in, I had to look at it tomorrow night because it's in tomorrow night, but it's drawn 11. So I'm just worried about, and there's an Apache cat thing. You ever see it? The thing of Greg Urel's, the 4 white feet and the big white blaze looks like Apache cat. Happy Link.
Happy Link.
J Car Gate 1. So I didn't know about that. Did you see his maiden win the other day? Kyneton, first starter. The thing that won the other day. Did you see it?
G-Roll.
Yeah.
No.
Just put 6 on him in the last 150 metres. Went like a Learjet. So, very wary of the first starter. So more pressing out to the mile. You're sort of less first starters to worry about. But anyway, not my sort of big cup of tea. Fonk at the short, but I'll go with Limburg.
Well, at least this horse has got the good map, and I think that's the key to this one.
That's the key, Scoot.
Settling
Mooney
position.
Valley.
Well,
Mooney
Under
Valley
the
as well.
belt too.
what do they do to Buddy Macarena?
Upwards into his prep against horses deep in their preps. You know, he's got a few ticks. Jay Child's great leader jockey. So yeah, he can't win this. They should be leaving him there.
Yeah.
They seem to love buying giant horses. I don't know
Big
what it is. They
horses.
seem to have a lot of big horses, and then they don't like to sort of pressure them. They like to ride
Dragging
them quiet.
at the back.
Oh, they drive you mad, and they're probably one of the hardest stables to catch.
Hopefully we've caught him this time. $2.35 at TopSport. So make sure you steam in and then get your weekend started. We'll probably put yours in the top 2 special there, DK. We rarely get to go in there, so we went on a bit of a run for a while, and I think we hit the skids last week, but I think we'll go on 3 or 4 in a row prior to that. So we'll put him in, and we might put him with King Colorado as the top 2 moral.
That's sick.
What's that?
Back marker, dirty back marker, everything. Oh, that's disgusting.
It's beautiful.
Oh, disgusting.
He's going to go straight to the outside.
There'll
and
be
just
one
go
person
bang.
take the special all week. You.
Hey,
Yeah, it'll be you.
mate, I'm telling you, I think he's
You and the West
a really
Indies.
good horse.
Mm.
Really good horse.
He is a real good horse.
Yeah, it's just got Cox plate. He's got the Cox plate for him.
I just get Waller and Mara just drive you mad trying to run. I think you might be right. He might be a 1,400 metre mile, but that doesn't mean he's not trying to get it ready for a 2,400 metre race. You know, they just do it all the time. Anyway, we'll see.
I think he'll be winning. So, yeah, me and DK will get the top 2 special across the line. No doubt about it. Make sure you support all the boys if you're betting this weekend. Nico's stuff, Wild Stuff, the syndicate for me and Donnie and Nico. And hopefully we start off on a positive note tomorrow night and enjoy Taylor Swift. DK.
Yeah, Taylor's it's all about Tay. Oh, yeah, big weekend. Anyway, Sunday night, can't wait. Taking me a little Avery, 6-year-old, was she 7-year-old? So she's bouncing off the walls. Can't wait to get to see Tay. Looking forward to it.
Bit stiff back. Didn't go. Nico, you taking the missus? Taylor Swift?
No, she's going without me, which is fine by me.
Not your go.
I just want to see the production. The production will be something out of this world. Like I saw Ed Sheeran's one there, and I'm expecting big things from this one. So look out.
Most of us need a spell from Taylor after the Super Bowl. Hope you have a great weekend on the punt. Enjoy. Autumn's back, and things are heating up in New South Wales and Victoria. It's good to see. Finally, some changes ahead. See you next week.